Hello and welcome back to Niagara Quartermaster, where once again random bearded veterans are filming another one of our little infotainment sessions for you. Today, our main teaching points or talking points are going to be you're a 15-year-old kid who likes playing Call of Duty and now you want to do it for real. How do you do that? Get into Airsoft. How are you going to do it? We've broken down a budget for you and shown you what you need, what's nice to have, and basically what your bare minimum price point that you're going to be looking at is going to be. Dan?
Two broad strokes categories to talk about today. We've got gear and guns. The two greatest things to go together since breakfast and coffee.
Or bacon and eggs, in my opinion. Which is a breakfast, which is the most important meal of the day. Pro tip.
Coffee, just get coffee.
Coffee. So,
starting with guns. We've got three different types of guns. We've got AEG, which is Airsoft Electric Gun. We've got GBBR, which is gas blowback, well, rifle, but they're SMGs. So just gas blowback. And we have spring operated.
Now, one quick point I just want to throw into here about this. What we've done is we've purposely gone through the store and we found the least expensive airsoft we have here. So we didn't go with the cheapest, we went with the least expensive. Cheap implies it's poor quality. This is just a low price point. What we've done is we've got some new and one of the consignment models that they sell here.
Because previously enjoyed just simply means savings passed on to you.
Yeah. Somebody else had fun with it and decided they wanted to have fun with something else.
So,
much like my ex-girlfriend.
You're better off. Airsoft is much healthier.
Airsoft won't sleep with someone else.
So, starting with our AEG, the Airsoft Electric Gun. This is probably the most likely shape that you're going to find. It's the AR-15 C7 M4 style of gun. Now, these have a battery that go in the back. They take AEG magazines, which you load up with BBs, stick the battery in, have fun. About the least expensive way to get into the sport, the most common type of gun you're going to come across in the sport, and all around easy to use, easy to maintain, and easy to upgrade, especially the M4 because there's just a million things to stick on the C7.
Yep, your M4 style gun, this is a new one. So this one here that we've pulled out is the Classic Army M4. So it comes with an M-lock barrel, so you can attach your own rails or points to it if you like. It comes with a flat rack all the way across the top for your optics. Or if you want to be crazy high speed and throw your leg on there and then you do your little C-clamp thing, whatever works for you, right? This is an all polymer, all plastic gun. The issue with this one specifically is that for currently it's going like $275 roughly. Everything inside is polymer as well, so you're running a risk with something like this of a failure simply because the parts may not necessarily handle the stressors of a lot of heavy-duty play. So we would recommend something where it's maybe upgraded, something previously enjoyed but higher quality airsoft.
This is an Aries. You can get into the Aries for about $250 to start. You're going to get a polymer body, but you're going to get much better internals than some of the other companies. This one used, comes with 2 magazines, and it's about $250. So always check out the consignment. There's some really expensive stuff there, but there's also some stuff that's really downright affordable.
Just because somebody's selling it doesn't mean you're buying somebody else's problem. The world revolves around used cars, and many of them are excellent rides, right? This is an excellent airsoft gun. Somebody may have just decided, I don't use it anymore, I bought a newer one, I got a newer one, somebody gave me another one.
I have a significant other.
My play style has changed, right? Maybe they're trying sniping out and they've had 3 rifles, they got rid of one of them. So another option, we're not going to talk a lot about it, but we are going to bring up the concept of springers. Springers are not very popular in airsoft because generally speaking, it's a pump and shoot. So whether it's a shotgun style like this or a rifle style, you have to charge the gun every time you shoot it. Sniper rifles, a lot of people will use springers because generally, I don't know anything about sniping, so I'll just tell you that right now. You're never going to hear me talk about sniping. I'm a big, fat, old, sweaty guy. I am not the guy you give one of those Novrich guns and throw in the woods in a ghillie suit. I'm not a graceful creature like that. But we'll talk briefly about this one, because you don't have to be graceful to use a shotgun. The shotgun is for guys like me.
Brand new.
Brand new. This is the Matador Tactical Springer. Fires out 3 rounds out of 1 barrel. Lots of options for it. It's good for certain niche games as well. It still gives you the range to play outside, but maybe not the rapid fire you may want. But it's great for zombie games, which I know NQ always throws in their field in the fall, which is a lot of fun from what I've heard. I've had the pleasure of it myself. Nicely equipped, comes with a ghost ring rear, high-vis front, and a rail to throw an optic on if you're so inclined. So it's always nice when you're buying one of these things to see what it comes with to begin with, for if you want to add stuff on, what do you need to purchase out of pocket versus what does it already have. Which, just to touch back on this one again, not all of them come with a quad rail mount. The Classic Army didn't. You'd have to buy extra rails. This one does. You don't. So when it comes to throwing things on the side, you're already ahead of the game.
So we've talked about our AEGs, we've talked about our Springer now, and Springer assault rifle, probably a bad idea. Springer shotgun, probably a good idea. These guys are brand new, they've just come out, but they're based off a very, very successful and well-built gas shotgun. And because they are spring, they bring it way into that price point that you kind of want to be at. They're about half the price of a gas gun.
Exactly. This one here is about just over 200, so pretty reasonable in my opinion.
Which nicely brings us into gas guns. We've
gas,
got 2 here.
specialty.
We've got one of my personal favorites actually, the MP9. And then we've got the dainty little Mac 11 for those who wish to
Clear the
edit
gaps.
this out. Yeah, no. I can't think of anything not terrible to say about this gun.
Well, the real gun is pretty terrible, so the good news is that this has stayed true to form. I'll be honest, I've never used this specific one. I'm not a fan
There's
of
nothing
the Mac.
wrong with it as an airsoft gun.
Yeah.
It's just got certain connotations from the 80s that we lived through.
Yeah. The issue I have with something like this is it kind of feels like you're holding a high point. It's not the most ergonomic or comfortable. Ultimately, like we discussed in other videos, the best gun for you is the one that you feel comfortable holding. So for somebody like me, it might be too small. For somebody who's younger or of a shorter stature, something like this could be perfect for them because their small hands can easily grab and manipulate it. So like I said, pick the one that feels good to you.
Especially if you're thinking about going to a game where you're going to be playing indoors, either entirely of the game or if the game has indoor rules or SMG rules. A lot of the times you could bring this to a field and use it full auto, whereas if you had a full-size M4 rifle, you'd be on semi-auto only. So again, pros and cons. Now the one thing we haven't talked about at all with any of these is magazines. Gas blowbacks are affordable guns. They have the most expensive magazines you're going to get. It comes with one, and they are around $60 to $80 a magazine. So you can get the gun cheap, but if you want to start running 2-3 magazines, with the gas blowback, you've got to budget for those magazines. They're very expensive for any airsoft.
And for what people who've never played before need to know, you're going to go through a lot of ammunition. Gas blowback magazines don't have the same storage capacity as well. It's important to note that because of the design of a gas blowback, when you're operating these, the propellant goes into the mag, right? So you've only got this little strip in the front to hold your BBs. Whereas with an electric, all the power and motivation to propel the BB out comes from inside the gun. So you've got an entire magazine here, which when you take it apart has kind of a windy, circly circum thing inside where the BBs travel through under tension with the spring. So you could fit a mid-cap, what, about 80 to 120, 140 BBs into this versus 50.
Same size, over twice the capacity. AEG to gas blowback.
Almost 3 times even. So, which once again leads to another important point. You're new to the game and you're starting, but you're the 15, 16-year-old kid who doesn't have the budget that somebody maybe twice their age has, right? Or even if you're 30 and you still don't have that budget, what do? So these are expensive. It's why we don't necessarily recommend them as a starter gun. It's great once you've gotten the game under your belt and you know what you're doing, adding it to your collection or when you want to change up your play style. But the reason we always stick with AEGs, and most people do, is because it's probably going to be your best price point to get into it. You know, it's going to be your best bang for your buck and the most you can get for the same price.
So we've talked guns, we've talked types of guns, we've talked magazines now. The other half of the table is gear. So, okay, that's great. I've gone out, I've got my gun, I've got my magazine. Why can't I play? Oh wait, I need safety equipment.
Yes, you do. Because we are given 2 eyeballs, which are very difficult to replace. So the first thing you want to get is a good set of ballistic rated eye pro. Don't get mesh, don't wear a pair of designer sunglasses. It's not going to work, and any good field won't let you play. You're going to be like,
We're organized.
we want to play, what's the gear we need? So we're going to talk about eye protection to start with. We could do an entire video on it because there's so much out there. The big thing to remember is get ballistic rated. You can buy safety glasses at Home Depot, but the issue you're going to have there is that they're not full face sealed. What do we mean when we say full face sealed? This is what we mean. You're going to look at it, and it's going to have literally a full seal around your face to make sure that anything coming from the side can't go in, bounce around, and put a hole through your retinas, because that's going to have a real bad day for you. You're looking at anywhere from, on the low end, $14 to $17 for ballistic rated. You're going to get something like this at the low end.
More of a glasses than a goggle.
Yeah, they are smaller, more low profile, which is beneficial if you're looking to wear some more high-speed gear, throw a helmet on with it or whatever. Inversely, while they are anti-fog, they're going to fog up, especially if you're like me. I mean, I'm sweating just standing here, so if I had these things on, it would look like the window scene in Titanic right now. For those of you who don't know, Google it. It's a fantastic movie.
That and Lemon Party.
Yes. I tend to personally stick with the ballistic goggle style, generally speaking, when I'm playing. You can buy them with or without fans, and it's all about what your price point is. The more you spend, the better you get. But generally speaking, you're looking to get about a $20 pair of ballistic glasses. I think these ones are about 30 or 40, maybe at most.
I believe those ones are 42.
Yeah, so 42 bucks, a couple of yuppie food stamps, 2 $20 bills, and a bit more will get you a good solid piece of goggles that will protect your eyes. You can't go wrong with that.
Now, there's one other thing to remember with these, the goggle style versus the glasses style. They actually sell glasses inserts for those of you that have prescription glasses and you need to see. These may or may not be able to get around your sunglasses or regular glasses, sorry. But they sell the inserts that you can go and take to your optometrist and get the appropriate prescription put in, and they will fit inside this area here.
Mm-hmm. Which means, even if you don't have best eye vision, you can still play, which is nice.
The sport's for everyone.
Exactly. So, we've covered off iPro. All I can tell you is the #1 rule, and you're going to see this on every airsoft video on the internet. There isn't going to be any person who tells you anything other than buy good eyewear, stay away from mesh. Fields won't let you wear it, and you're taking a huge
Mesh is
risk
for
with your
Nerf
eyes.
and Nerf only.
Yeah. With one exception, there is a place for mesh on your face, but it's not your eyes, it's your mouth. So these are a $15 pair of half mask face guard. So this covers your lower extremities. Goggles go across the top. This goes across the bottom. It keeps your pearly whites their whitest and not chipped. If you're over 18, most fields don't make you wear this, but unless you have a really, really great dental plan, I would recommend investing in it because broken teeth suck.
And with the mesh, you're still breathing. It's not holding in heat the same way as, say, a cloth or a scarf over your face would.
Mm-hmm.
And you can communicate more clearly.
Mm-hmm. There are other options,
Yep.
but what we've done here is we've gone and picked out the least expensive items in the store to give you an idea of what you can do
The least
at the
expensive,
base level price.
best quality.
Yes. Exactly. We got you the best we can find for the least amount of dollars. So, you're going out to play. Do you need a uniform? You can wear jeans and a shirt. You can play in whatever you want. Do you need boots? They're nice to have, but you can wear running shoes too, right? You put into it what you want. The bare minimum you're going to want to have is gun and protective gear. So this, and the gun. With the gun, you're going to need a battery and a charger. Batteries are about 30 to 40 bucks. Charger's another 45 bucks. Your best bet is to go with a LiPo battery. They're going to be your best bang for your buck for what works. They come in different sizes. Make sure that when you're buying your gun, make sure that the battery you pick up fits in your gun. If you come to a store like NQ or anything similar, the techs here and the store employees here will make sure that it works. They're not going to sell you the wrong one.
If you're not buying your gun brand new and you're just picking up a new battery, bring your gun to the store in a gun bag, always in a gun bag. Never not in a gun bag. Bring it to the store and they can actually let you see if it'll fit, because there's different styles, there's butterflies, there's sticks, there's nunchucks. It just different ways of wrapping the battery cells together to get them to fit inside your gun. Bring your gun, get it fit. It's like getting shoes, you know, you don't just buy shoes randomly, you try them on first. Airsoft, a lot of it's the same way. Try them before you buy.
Exactly. In the world of tactical thinking, we have a term. 2 is 1, 1 is none. Now, that's why you see a lot of people who play the games as well who take that mindset over here. It's why they'll carry a rifle with a pistol. It's why they'll often have more than one magazine, second battery. If all you can afford is the one battery and a charger, get the one battery and a charger, and you have some money, buy another one. It's okay, they're not that expensive. But if you want to go in hard at the start and get a little bit extra, we've kind of pieced together what you should carry.
I would even say going in hard, this is
just smart.
This is
smart.
entering.
Yeah. This is giving yourself the equipment you need to enjoy airsoft at its best. Because if you're playing all day, you're probably going to want a second battery when the first one dies, or else it's going to be a long day sitting in the waiting area. So you've got yourself 2 batteries. You're going to get yourself, say, let's say you found yourself a good used airsoft gun like this. This one actually comes with 2 magazines. So you've got your magazine for in the gun, and then you got your spare. Well, depending on your play style, you can throw it in your pocket, but that's kind of sloppy. If you have the money.
What do? I wear capris and t-shirts because I'm some sort of idiot and I don't have pockets. How do I carry all my gear?
Well, I can appreciate that because when I'm wearing my man yoga pants, I never wear man yoga pants.
No, he doesn't.
No man should ever wear yoga pants.
He does naked yoga.
It's free bird or nothing here. So, chest carriers, crazy expensive, right? You're looking at anywhere from $150 and up. So what's something a little more reasonable, say? Lots of people are moving to the battle belts. These are a great option. This belt alone, on its own, $40. Comes in a nice tactical Coyote. You go out and grab yourself a couple of mag pouches. This here is another 30 bucks. Slap it on whichever side you want. For me, as a left-handed shooter, I'm gonna make sure it's on my support side because this hand's gonna be holding the gun. This hand is gonna be sitting there grabbing the extra magazines. What do I stick on that side? Well, there's a lot of options. You could attach a dump pouch on the back if you like. I always think a good utility pouch is always an option to bring with you because where are you going to put your spare battery? Maybe it dies in the middle of the game and there's 20, 30 minutes left in the game. Do you really want to walk off the field, leave the game, have to wait out there until everybody's done? No.
Or hey, you throw your speed loader in there and then when your 2 magazines run out, you can refill one of your magazines really quick without having to go back to the safe area.
Exactly. You've got
depending on the field's rules of play.
Yes. Obviously that will dictate, but for less than $30, you can grab yourself this pretty high-speed Coyote pencil case. Using the strapping here, you'll slap right on, snap it into place, and you can basically carry all the extra stuff you need in here for a basic outdoor skirmish game. So you can carry your batteries, some ammo, a speed loader, candy bar or granola bar if you get hungry, whatever you need, right? So we're looking at maybe 60 bucks here, and this gives you, at the very least, a pretty solid tactical loadout to make sure that you and your gun with your safety gear can actually enjoy yourself out on the playing field.
you're gonna get out there and you're gonna be a little bit better than the dude with nothing.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a little more enjoyable because you're not running with something jabbing into your hip or, you know, wherever else you've stashed things, all of a sudden becoming markedly uncomfortable in the middle of the game.
The reason you don't want to use the cargo pockets for your magazines as well is because a mag pouch holds it securely. So when you're running around,
I don't think
they're
they can
not
see
falling
any
out.
of that.
Well, what I did for the visually impaired is I shook the pant leg holding the magazines, which made a rattling noise, which is really not cool if you're out playing, and then one of them fell out. So if you tend to go through a lot of magazines, if you have more than 3, invest in a dump pouch, it's worth it.
Because every mag you lose, you have to replace.
Yep, and these are $10 each, which isn't a lot of money until you have to start buying a bunch of them. Especially
Don't want to
those.
lose that.
Another little thing we put down that's nice to have, here's a $13 sling. Because if you just spent, you know, $200, $300 on a gun, you probably don't want to drop that on the ground either. It's also nice to have just to free up your hands when you're out running and gunning. So you need to do something with 2 hands, you don't put your gun down, you just let your hand.
So for when medic rules come back and you've got a 2-hand drag somebody, you're not leaving your rifle out there like some sort of numpty, you've got it on you. Rifles, shotguns, SMGs, they all have a spot somewhere on them to attach a sling. Just like that.
Come at me, bro. I'm ready. So we pretty much figured we nailed it, covered all our important topics here. We've got your guns.
Haven't talked about headwear just yet.
Protect the noodle, always important. Sorry, Aaron, here's a whole bunch of dead space on your video.